It's obviously been disappointing. There's nowhere that we can hide as a club. We came back full of optimism after the winter break, refreshed and ready to hopefully continue what was a very positive start and halfway point of a season. It hasn't turned out like that. We hoped that possibly at the weekend there, with the amazing support of the stands, that we would have been able to get a very big result against Hibs, which would hopefully have catapulted the season, but it hasn't managed to do that, and we go into a massive game on Saturday, which isn't going to define the season because we've got another 2 massive games after that, but we've got a final 3 games that really are massive, and we can't get away from the fact that we're still in touching distance of a European spot, never mind the top 6. So I think we need to reflect, as we have done, as we have been doing, on what has been a poor return to football, but staying realistic and the very strong possibility of finishing in the top 6 and possibly more is still within touching distance, and hopefully we can achieve that in what is 3 massive games. The squad that's been brought together, there's been a lot of investment in the team. We should be delivering. We understand we've underachieved over the past 2 months. I held my hands up after the game against Dundee. I make it a very tough ask with a slack bit of play from myself, which no matter how many meetings or how many training sessions you put on, a mistake like that is hard to plan for. So you need to look, you need to reflect. I think that's the most important thing, is as a squad we reflect, and as a management staff we reflect individually first and see what we could do better, and within that the manager then puts us in the right direction of what he wants us to do, and that's ultimately what has to happen. I think what's frustrating is that we have had performances that have merited more, but at times we've also had performances that have merited nothing, and I think we need to make sure that we try and strive for the balance of both, which is a good performance and a good result, but equally at this stage in the season the only thing that does matter is the results, and we need to get 3 points quickly. You get the abuse. Look, it's merited at times. The fans get the right to voice their opinion, so there's no getting away from that as players, and we need to step up to it, and we need to answer the questions that they're asking. There's a mix in this squad of foreign players, young players, older players, that it can affect everyone differently, and I think certainly what we can't allow the negativity, if it comes from the stand, to do is affect our belief in our ability and getting on the ball and demanding it. But equally, it's a catch-22. We need to give something for the fans to get behind, and there's nothing more simple than getting a win that can galvanise it. Look, it was brilliant. I think when you turn up and you see that many fans coming down to cheer you on in a session, it shouldn't need to, but it should make everyone realise how much this club means to people. It's a community club, and for us to drive that message we need to be together as a unit, as a community.
Really appreciate your support, mate. Honestly, it means a lot. It's fucking good to see. We're going to finish right now in about 2 minutes. Now send them across on a little jog and give you a little clap for coming, alright? Appreciate that, mate. Tell everyone I said thank you, okay?
Hopefully we can galvanise that spirit that was shown in the Saturday training session, and the fans were outstanding on Sunday as well. Was the second biggest attendance of the season for a cup game that you need to pay for. I think they understood it was a difficult ask for us whenever we went down to 10 men, but they were brilliant then, and we just asked for that support to give us it for the next 3 games, and we need to give them something to be cheerful about, and we hoped that going to Hampden would have brought that. Sadly that didn't happen, but I think the top 6 and fighting for a European place can do that, and that's going to be everybody at this club's aim. We can make this season a very good one and not just let it whittle away.
It's always exciting. I think it's the right word to you. I mean, there'll be a lot of quality, but it's going to be really fascinating watching these games.
It is, and that's why I really enjoy the structure of the league at the moment. You know, with the top 6, it is so tightly packed in there. There'll be so many teams playing for nothing, but with the top 6 at stake, it keeps everything interesting.
To be 1 point off 4th place at this stage in the season, I think every player and every fan would have went, that's a good season, but just the way it's materialised with everyone else being so close, it's been a strange season, and one that has had this spell of disappointment, I think would be the best way to put it. But as I said, being 1 point behind 4th, we've got every opportunity to make amends for that over the next 3 games, and I think we're capable of doing it. and certainly we are working hard to do so.